only their legends remain. I will see mine etched in blood, never forgotten.
Joining us, we have executive producer and showrunner Stephen S. DeKnight. The cunning Lord of the Ludus, Quintus Beatus, played by John Hannah. His sometimes loyal partner Lucretia, played by Lucy Lawless. The lovely social climber Alithia, played by Viva, Bianca. All right, so we have a lot of ground to cover because of this. We have a prequel, and then we have season 2, both coming next year. We'll get a chance to talk about both. John and Lucy, you guys must have been at least a little bit surprised to get a phone call saying, "Hey, come back to Spartacus."
I'm still trying to get over the cunning Lord of the Ludus. It was a great way to retool, wasn't it? We didn't want to lose the momentum that the show had gathered, didn't want to lose the writers, so it was a great way to fill in time while Andy was taking all the time he needed, and yeah, brilliant.
Well, also Rob had said to me last year about some holes in the backstory with Spartacus and myself and Lucy, and there would be 2 or 3 episodes where Batiatus would come back in a flashback sense to, as I say, fill some of that in. So when there was an opportunity to look at those 2 or 3 episodes and find what that story was, I guess organically it turned into 6 episodes. So yeah, no, it's great to come back and dispatch them in the same sort of way. Looking forward to it.
And Stephen, how did you approach writing the prequel in terms of what you're going to do? What were your sort of goals in terms of the story?
I approached it like I do anything, with fear and trepidation. And then with my fantastic writing staff, we dove right in. Thankfully, writing for these 2 is incredibly easy because it's such a joy with their characters and the way they portray them. And we had a lot of stories that we wanted to tell, little things that we hint at in season 1, like Enemeus' wife, Batiatus' father, that we really thought we could expand on. And instead of telling you about it in season 2, we're going to actually show it to you in the prequel.
So John, Lucy, can you give us a little bit of hint, and not too spoilerish, but a little bit of a hint in terms of what your characters are up to in the prequel?
No. We're actors, we're the last to go in, and then I'll find out next week when we go to New Zealand.
It hits the ground running, though, I think. I was kind of surprised that so much is packed, so much action is packed, and I just don't mean physical action, but like dramatic action. Like, you really came out of the with all guns blazing. That was amazing. It doesn't ease into the series, put it that way. Right?
Yeah, we like to start it off pretty hot in the prequel. I think you guys will appreciate it.
And Steve, for season 2, can you give us a little bit of idea what to expect? I was hanging out in the green room, you were talking to the press, and I overheard 2 intriguing words, and that was massive battles.
The big battles, yes. The thing about big battles for us, for all battles on this show, is it has to come from emotions, that somebody wants something. Crixus wants something, Spartacus wants something. And when we get into season 2, these somethings become larger and larger. And everybody knows that Spartacus led a slave revolt, a rebellion. And you will start to see that in season 2. It will get bigger and bigger as we go along.
One of the signatures of the show have been the gladiator fight scenes, but since now they're presumably on the run, I mean, is that going to take a backseat after the prequel?
Definitely. You will get some of that in season 2, but the battles will be outside of the arena. But we've packed in plenty of arena action in the prequel that should keep you guys in all the blood and gore you can handle.
So, you know, because this story, the overall story, is sort of known to you, do you have a certain number of seasons in mind in terms of how long you're going to take to tell a story? Because clearly you're, I mean, you know, they're already sort of on the run. You said Slave Rebellion is going to start.
10 or 12. Yeah, until Starz kicks us off the air or you guys stop watching, we'll keep making it.
Let's see. You were talking about the battles. You know, there's so much extreme sort of content there. You set out to make this really hard R-rated show. What sort of, is there anything that you've come up with that you're like, no, I can't do that, or the network said, no,
you know,
you can't do that?
One thing. During the Thing in the Pit, episode 4, Rob and I had pitched this thing where Spartacus is on the ropes in a fight and he bites out the neck of his opponent. And that was the one thing that we were told, wait a minute now. I don't think the hero can bite the guy's neck out. So if you actually watch the episode, instead he pokes his eyes out.
Because that's better.
Yeah, I guess that's slightly more acceptable.
Let's see. For the women of Spartacus, was there anything in the script that made you go like, uh-oh, well, maybe I won't want to do this?
Oh, plenty. Every time I read it, you know, the sex scene, I sort of throw the script across the room and go, oh, there's no way I'm doing that. And invariably you sort of calm down, you go, oh, they're right, that's really good. You know? Because it's about something else, and though it looks horrific in print, at least they execute it beautifully. Everybody looks magnificent on the show, and that's a concern when you're half naked, you know. Well, they fixed it in post.
Oh, look, I can certainly say I was just as surprised and shocked by everything my character did as much as the audience probably was.
You know, Viva, your character had an interesting arc in season 2, because you started the first episode, you're kind of, you know, a little ambitious, but overall sweet, and by the end of it, you're like sort of a devious power player.
Oh yeah. I didn't see that coming either. Yeah, no,
That was good.
it was fun. It was really fun.
And beautifully played.
So, you know, we're not supposed to use profanity at Comic-Con, but, you know, on the other hand, if you're watching Spartacus, your innocence is already gone. So, you know, there's one certain one that's in particular that's become the signature of the show.
Would that be Jupiter's cock?
That would be the one.
Anybody play that drinking game out there?
Where on earth did that one come from? And at some point, did you just get to the point where it's just like, well, we put this in the script, the show a couple times. Well, yeah, yes, let's do it again.
You know,
the crew knew immediately that was a good one.
you know, that I think I was naked one day and it just naturally happened.
Anyone want to add anything? Probably not, right? So, you know, and I think most fans know this, but in case you don't, this show's entirely shot indoors. There's never been a scene that's been outside. I mean, is the show actually fun to shoot, or is it sort of like, oh, we're going crazy inside a green box sort of thing?
Well, it keeps us out of the rain. And then they bring the rain in with them. That's my take on it.
Oh, we have all of these amazing sets. It's not all just green screen.